This small and simple Buddhist abode in the east coast of Taiwan begins its day at the clapping sound of 2 wooden boards at 3:50 every morning. In 2006, Tzu Chi Foundation celebrated its 40th anniversary. Master Zhen Yan encouraged all Tzu Chi volunteers to emulate the Buddhist heart and pass on Tzu Chi's spirit of humanity to more people. It has been her teaching for more than 40 years that all Tzu Chi volunteers cultivate the virtues of sincerity, integrity, faith, and honesty, as well as walk on the Bodhisattva path of kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Established in 1966 by Dharma Master Zhen Yan, Tzu Chi Foundation started its charity work with 30 housewives, each saving 50 cents every day out of their grocery money. Today, Tzu Chi Foundation has 4 missions: charity, medicine, education, and culture, all of which are now being carried out in 40 countries on the 5 continents around the globe. As of today, more than 200 Tzu Chi chapters and offices have been set up worldwide, and over 60 countries have been aided by Tzu Chi. Seeing how illnesses can add to the suffering of the poor, Master Zhen Yan carries out the mission of medicine to safeguard the health of people in places where medical resources are lacking. As of January 2007, Tzu Chi has built 6 hospitals around the island of Taiwan and set up a stem cell center in Hualien. To further extend Tzu Chi's medical care to those in need around the world, Tzu Chi International Medical Association, or TIMA, was organized in 1996. Be it the war-stricken Rwanda or South Asia hit by tsunamis, Tzu Chi's medical volunteers have never been absent. Master Zhen Yan believes that children are the hope of society, and education is the hope of children. In the year 2000, Tzu Chi's ideal of a complete educational system in Taiwan was realized when it completed the establishment of a kindergarten, a primary and secondary school, a university, and a graduate school. In addition, Tzu Chi volunteers built 7 primary and secondary schools for the Zulu children in Ladysmith, South Africa. In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers provide 50 tons of rice to 8,000 students at a Muslim boarding school every month. In the Dominican Republic, Tzu Chi volunteers leveled a garbage mountain and turned it into a primary school for children from the poor family. For more than 30 years, Tzu Chi has been working hard to reveal the brighter side of humankind by sharing stories of love and kindness with people around the world. To deliver messages of truth, kindness, and beauty, Tzu Chi's cultural mission has developed over the year to publish Chinese monthly magazine, a Japanese monthly magazine, an English quarterly magazine, and Rhythms monthly magazine, as well as set up a radio station and 2 satellite TV stations in Taiwan and Indonesia. Seeing how natural disasters occurred one after the other in countries around the globe, Master Zhen Yan has been tirelessly calling on everyone to care for Mother Nature and cherish all resources we have on this earth. She often shares with her followers that human beings should care for the earth in a way that they walk gently for fear of causing pain for the land. To constantly remind people of such caring, love, and respect for the earth, many of Tzu Chi's premises have a wall painting of the Buddha standing tall and reaching out his hand to gently touch the wounded earth. The immeasurable love and compassion of the Buddha expressed in the painting deeply impresses many of those who have seen it. In towns and cities of Taiwan, numerous Tzu Chi's recycling volunteers can be seen collecting recyclables along the streets every day. Around 4,500 recycling stations were set up around the island of Taiwan for these volunteers to sort out the recyclables they collect. On the second Sunday of every month, Tzuji's recycling volunteers collect newspaper, plastic, bottles, cans, etc. from people in their communities and then bring the recyclables back to the recycling stations for sorting. This is a recycling station exclusively for sorting out paper. As early as 7 o'clock in the morning every day, volunteers begin to arrive. They go through each piece of paper carefully and sort it out into 6 categories by color, quality, because different papers are sold for different prices. Everyone is fully concentrated on sorting in order not to make mistakes. After sorting, they stack every pile of paper neatly. Many of them consider the tedious work a form of spiritual cultivation. If a 20-year-old tree can be spared by recycling 50 kilograms of paper, then every year Tzuji's recycling volunteers save more than 1,570,000 20-year-old trees. If a grown tree takes up an area of 21.5 square feet, then every year Tzuji volunteers help to preserve a forest the size of 2 Central Parks in New York City. Since 1997, all buildings or schools constructed by Tzuji have to meet the environmental standard of water reuse advised by Master Zheng Yan. Rainwater is collected and treated to be used for certain purposes, such as watering plants or flushing the toilet. All pavements have to be pervious to water so that rainwater can seep into the soil and be preserved there. After the major earthquake hit central Taiwan in 1999, Tzuji helped reconstruct 50 schools that were seriously damaged. The construction of these new schools all met the environmental standards advised by Master Zheng Yan. For example, a rainwater collecting system was built at each school. Classrooms were so designed to take in natural light and allow good air circulation so that electricity used for lights and air conditioners can be reduced. And all pavements were paved with interlocking bricks instead of cement or asphalt. The Still Thought Abode is the spiritual home of all Tzuji volunteers worldwide. For over 40 years, more than 100 monastic practitioners living in the abode have been living up to the motto of no work, no meal. They do not live by the material or financial offerings from their followers, but insist on working to support their own living and lead a simple, frugal life. The monastic practitioners at this abode believe that all living beings in this world are equal and interdependent. Human beings are not superior to other living beings. Based on that belief, these elderly culinary volunteers always spend much time in picking out the worms in the green leafy vegetables so that they won't be cooked by accident. These vegetables from the garden of the abode have all these worms because pesticides are not used here. In the vegetable garden of the abode, vegetables are grown in the most natural and primitive way. Leftover dishes and fruit peels are collected and mixed with soybean powder before they are left to ferment for 3 months to become organic fertilizers. What makes of the organic fertilizers comes from the land and is eventually given back to the land. Such is the incessant cycle of life. This is the story of Tzuji. For over 40 years, Tzuji volunteers have been working to spread the seeds of love and kindness by carrying out Tzuji's 4 missions in every corner of the world. In the world of Tzuji, the sun never sets, because when Tzuji volunteers in one country call it a day, those in another are just about to start their day of work. It is a relay of love that continues on day after day, year after year.